Hello, friends. It is just me. Chelsea's coming, but the Snark squad has slightly adjusted. So Chelsea's coming in from a meeting. She's going to be here any minute because, you guys don't just want me on my own. Kevin is out today because he's on a well-deserved vacation, relaxing poolside. You can go to his Instagram. Y'all know where it is now. So there's that. I see, first of all, our favorite troll is here, and he is ready for this, coming from a park bench in the UK. I hope that you have a can with you or something super fun. Andrew is ready to let the snarking begin. We have Grits in the house. We have Ariel, who is so excited. Where the frick is the Snark squad on power rankings? We were not there. I still haven't even tried. I need to get on that. You've been waiting here for hours. I know, me too. I've been waiting for this one all week. Thomas is here. Canadian representation already. We have Michael already here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you guys are already doing your jobs, lighting up the chat. I don't have a Kevin intro. I don't have Chelsea here to sub in with some sound and stuff. So first of all, let's just get the stand-in Snark up on behalf of Kevin. So when Kevin needed to take the day off, I was like, who can possibly fill such enormous shoes? And especially given the topic that B-Love, who is our guest, who's going to be coming up in just a hot minute, wanted to discuss, I was like, who better than Mr. John Tester?
Oh, I'm on screen. Oh, hi. Wow, it just popped up.
Yeah, no,
I was just having a great time watching Jenny Snark, and then here I am. I showed up. Yes.
So there's just something I want to acknowledge here is on LinkedIn, we both are formal name, but then you show up here and you're John and I'm Jenny, and that's just, it's a different vibe.
It's just a different vibe, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm super excited because I know that you have lots of trolling stories. I'm not going to waste any time. Let's just get our guest Snark. Now, who here, I want to see in the chat, who saw the promo clip for today? If you guys appreciated that one, you're really going to appreciate. I feel like Brittany is going to need some sort of award for the way that she shows up in terms of guest snarking, because she was sipping, so I had to go for it. Right,
and she's muting herself too. That's the best part.
I live across from a train. It's obviously waiting until the day that I'm supposed to guest snark to make loud noises. It'll be going off in a second here, but anyhow, by popular demand, I was somehow not only able to get makeup on, but I also grabbed the costume. The costume is actually super easy. You just kind of flip it on and you're ready to go. So got my rumbucha, the redneck, I have nothing in my fridge and need an alcoholic beverage, and we are ready to go talking about these trolls. So John, I don't know if you remember this because I think you get trolled a lot, but we actually drew you into a troll situation that I thought you'd just be able to put the kibosh on, and the guy turned against you.
Shit, I don't know what you're talking about.
It was a misogynist dude on one of my posts.
Really hardcore. My husband from Mexico is saying, gosh, does that guy just hate us?
He knows misogyny.
He does.
Oh, he knows.
And I mean,
I've heard about that. Yeah, I was in Mexico. Mm-hmm.
He's the type that's like, sweetie, why don't you want to come work for me for $10 an hour and cook and clean and everything?
But that's your job, right? I'm sorry. I'm just having fun right now.
No, he really does actually think that. But he's actually that's just how he grew up, and that's how his mom and his parents' relationship were. He 100% supports me, even when he walks in and sees me.
He probably wants you to dress like Wonder Woman every day, and in makeup, and he's wondering why you're not. What's up with that? This was part of the marriage arrangement.
To put it on the internet, maybe not.
No, internet that's for other people to see. It's only for hubby.
Actually, he bought me the Wonder Woman costume for my birthday last year, and he helped me film the Wonder Woman YouTube video where I kill the coronavirus because it. up my birthday. It like seriously, because I was supposed to go see the new Wonder Woman movie on my birthday weekend, and so Chelsea was recasted. We replaced her with Wonder Woman. Don't worry about it. but
wait, so you wanted to dress up and cosplay like the 18-year-olds, right? And be like them to go to see the movie.
That's what I intended. And then when they canceled, I'm like, screw it. We're getting the costume and making. I'm going to be Wonder Woman. And so
you probably are friends with a lot of the people who troll me. This is a good, sort of
there's like an overlap in audience.
I think there's an overlap in people who love Brittany with the Wonder Woman costume, and the people who troll me on Reddit. They probably these are two of their favorite activities.
Oh, that's really interesting. I mean, first of all, if you're on Reddit,
what's wrong with you to start out?
There's different sides to Reddit, but I think let's start with just like setting a bar, because I think that Luke brings up a good point, and I put this into my post. What is a troll to you?
Oh, to me?
Yeah, because I feel like your line is different than Brittany's line, and my line is
a troll to me is not somebody who disagrees with me. That's fine. It's somebody who is literally out there to demolish my existence through their words on the internet, in the most hurtful ways possible. Yeah.
You get the hardcore trolls.
Oh, I get them. And there's it seems to be potentially thousands of them. I was saying that there could be a whole...
Oh, that's success.
Oh my God, you're late. Hi there.
But she looks
I'm
really
late.
pretty. I like your lipstick today.
Amazing. I'm so sorry. I just am not... Oh.
You have
I'm not pretty like y'all.
You have like the somewhat pink
I don't
hair
even know
person.
how to point to Wonder Woman. Like
I got my annoying ass cat. If anybody wants to see her,
it's the theme of the week.
We're talking about John's trolls who might have. They're probably the ones that liked my video. Hey, we'll just figure out who disliked my YouTube video, and we'll send them your way, because they're probably your people.
People who disliked your YouTube? I don't know. I'm not sure. Probably not. So my people, so there's a cottage industry around calling me a creepy motherfucker. Who
we
preys
keep swearing
on...
to a minimum here. I don't know if
you guys can call me creepy too, because look, I make faces like this. I'm good at it.
I mean, it's creepy. It really is.
That was really creepy, right, Chelsea Snark? Yes, I'm late.
It totally was.
It was really creepy.
Yeah.
Hi guys. So that's maybe why they do it, because I make faces like this all the time. Yeah,
I can't argue with, based on the information that I have, I can't argue with their statement.
It's true. Okay. No.
By the way, it's nice to meet you, sir.
It's. I mean, this is our introduction. I don't think we've ever chatted.
Nice to meet you, creepy dude.
Hi guys. How are you? I'm like looking off at the camera, but not really. That's cool. I can live up to the standards of my Reddit trolls if I have to. The problem for me, women of trolling and this, is that my target audience. So I'm an old dude, right? Like you can see the fucking gray bearded shit. Like I'm not young, right? And my target audience, this is why I get trolled, is women between the ages of 18 to 25. So that is why Reddit goes apeshit.
Why don't you just write creeper across your forehead? I mean,
thank you, creeper. And then I mean, they must have video cameras, because I do go like this when I talk to them. So yeah, it makes sense. Hi.
Swear jar.
Oh, are we not allowed to curse here?
So we do try to keep it to a minimum, because LinkedIn and YouTube will both penalize.
I'm sorry, guys.
It's fine.
I'm gonna hold it. I'm just gonna think.
I know
about
it's
it.
very challenging.
There's like a whole. We're not allowed to add value.
Travis's comment.
Not allowed to swear. I mean, heaven's sakes, like what can we do? No value, no swearing.
I'm gonna just have to be.
We
quiet.
can wear costumes. That's what we do.
Drink. We're good.
So yeah, so my targets, like, these are people who pay me money for my coaching service, right? So like I do coaching, and it's like they're all these young women, and that's it, man. That's who follows me, that's who likes me. And Reddit must know this, and they must see the comments, and they must see the people liking it, and they must be like, oh, we gotta get this guy. Yeah, because we're a bunch of young guys, and like, I don't know. Like, there's got to be something wrong here.
The girls like this old guy, and oh my god, like,
how dare they? That's so weird. Because my content's all like lovey, like, you know, like spiritual, like, yeah, let's just all love each other, and like consciousness, and we're connecting. And
I know you're not gonna get them laid is the problem. Are we allowed to say that? That's not a swear word.
You just said laid is.
It's not a swear word.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So yeah, so I think that might be where it comes from. I'm not sure. And I'm always writing about like, yeah, you know what? LinkedIn's just a great place to meet people and connect and like learn about them and, you know, all this. And they're like, yo, that's just freaking creepy. LinkedIn's just a place to get jobs, dudes. Like, no one uses it for, you know, meeting people. I'm like, all right.
I mean, meeting people has nothing to do with getting jobs. Like, those two are not related.
No, not at all.
Definitely not.
Here's what you do, right? Everybody knows this. When you first connect with someone, you say, do you have a job for me? Right? Like, you all do that.
Yes.
Or try to sell them something, one or the other.
We're selling. Yeah. Especially if you're a Northwestern Mutual representative.
Ariel, people clearly need your services. Where are you?
So yes, according to the world of Reddit, LinkedIn is meant to apply for jobs, and when you connect with people, you say, do you have a job for me? And so that's why there's all this hate for me. Yeah, so it's cool. I love it. Thanks, guys. Yeah, hi, Mindy and I knew each other before I ever posted a word, I think.
Oh, Chelsea, we're talking about what our definitions of trolls are. Because we figure we each have different ones.
I mean, Luke's on the screen right now, so.
I did like Luke's comment, though. Where is it? Where did it go? Oh, shit. You guys are really moving the chat today, and I cannot. Okay, so trolls are more fun than most of you shit posters on LinkedIn.
He's not wrong.
I mean, he's kind of right.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
I think Luke's onto something. I can't argue with that.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's how you respond. You're like, yeah, agree and amplify.
Wait,
that's what I do.
Trolls are fun to poke sometimes because they are just so easily triggered, and sometimes that is fun.
Love poking the trolls.
I mean,
so is this going to be like a poke the Luke session?
Is Luke pokeable? I just feel like he's not really.
I don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
Brits, is it possible to like poke a Brit and get them to react? No, Mindy.
He's
not a real British person.
Not a British person.
Oh.
He just
Fake
pretends to be
person.
by drinking cans in the park.
Did I just troll him by calling him a Brit?
Possibly.
Well, he's Canadian, so there might be an upgrade.
He's gonna leave this chat now. It's totally.
It depends
over,
if he like is for or against the Queen. I think.
Ooh.
Well, Canadians,
that was trollish.
No, but just to clarify, Canada.
Was that a curse again, Brittany? Did you kind of curse there?
No.
I don't know if that was appropriate. I'm just kidding.
So Canada is a Commonwealth country, and the Queen is on our money, and we do. You know, the Queen is a thing.
I'm sorry, you live in Brooklyn. There's no we anymore about Canadians.
I forsake all foreign crowns.
Bushwick warehouse lady.
I am not that cool. I dyed my hair pink to pretend to be, but I am not that cool. Like, this area is way too awesome for me, but that's just my thoughts.
Who's LinkedIn user? Who's our ghost?
Aww.
Who are we disrespecting?
Name yourself.
GB. No disrespect.
That's I think it's a British emoji.
GB.
Oh, yeah.
But if someone can tell me who the ghost is, that would be really cool.
Who's LinkedIn user?
Canadians do cuss. It's like a weird setting. So every week we get like a new
Michael.
We're starting a cult in Bali. I mean, Bali's so.
Why Bali? Why can you start no, that's a terrible place to start a cult. You should like be in the jungles of Indonesia. and really start it.
That sounds terrible.
Just as long as you're not in Guyana, I think you're cool.
Thank you.
Got it. Found the ghost.
Thank you, Ariel, for outing the ghost. So yeah, I don't know. I get like troll light, and I think you all have like way more followers than me. So that is part of it. I realize that. But I also think there's something like my last name is Love, and I am a minister turned brand strategist who wants to make the world a better place. So it's a special kind of like pathology that would troll someone who has that. Although I'm open to it.
I mean, people get triggered by all kinds of things. I'm like, be confident in yourself because you're awesome. And they're like, no, I'm not. You hate all men.
Well, you do, right? I mean, just by existing.
I mean, so the mere fact that I think that all people are equal apparently does make me a man-hating feminist.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that I'm married to a dude, I'm raising 2 dudes, and I'm friends with a lot, and like most of my coaches and mentors also men.
No one asked for your facts. Jenny.
Stop defending yourself. You're clearly
fake news.
Just accept it. Just accept
clearly
it.
You're just
a raging feminist.
You're misandrist.
I'm also like looking. I got an anti-troll thread going here. Like everybody's like community and relationships over followers.
Wait, what?
Like everybody's like community and relationships over followers. Like troll, like followers ain't stuff. Trying not to cuss here.
I mean,
literally, basically, what I said created an anti-troll effect, which I think is the exact opposite of what we're trying to do here. Come on, people, troll us now. We give you.
I'm waiting for it.
I mean, I don't think it's about
Luke can't smell, or Luke can't smell. Luke can't spell. He doesn't want prude.
You can't smell.
Oh my gosh, maybe it's COVID.
Smell or not.
I don't know what prude is. Luke, what is prude?
We don't know what prude is, Luke. Do better.
Very confused.
I better.
I want to know Mindy's trolling story. Mindy, please.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
In disguise.
Tell us, Mindy.
So, like, I'm curious because, like, John's getting trolled on, like, levels that most of us don't relate to. I have not been trolled that bad in a very long time. I was doxxed on the internet, though, so that makes my approach to trolling a little bit different. So I used to like to poke them, and my husband's like, you should probably stop before you get doxxed again. And, like, so it's this, like, balance of, like, sometimes it's kind of fun, and sometimes people like to spar, and sometimes people just need to be nurtured into a better direction, which also is something
nurture into a better direction.
I know. So in fairness, over on YouTube, I get some very hurt people in my comments because I talk about toxic workplaces a lot.
That's
so
true.
A lot of people in pain. And sometimes they come and they react. And it's like sometimes they just need to be validated and like know that like it's okay to be mad. And then they feel better. But sometimes they just come to be mad because they want to get more mad. And that's like a nuance that you need to figure out, and it's almost impossible to figure it out on the internet.
They're strangers.
Exactly
like, if
what
you
I
don't
did
know
with my
who they
4-year-old.
are.
Oh, kids are the biggest trolls.
I mean,
My
just
kids
say
my
it's
kids
okay
are
to
the
be
biggest
upset.
trolls. Yeah. I agree with that.
If I
They say the
didn't,
most hurtful things.
if I
Absolutely.
didn't have a teenager, I don't know if I'd be able to handle trollish remarks quite as well as I do. Yeah.
No, they start young. My 4-year-old trolls me.
Oh my god, 4?
Yes. He's like,
Wow.
he's like, Daddy, you're always angry. I'm like, ouch. That hurts. It hurts deep.
You don't just retort, yeah, you're so annoying.
Like,
You're a really
ouch.
good
why do you
parent.
think you're always yelling. I'm like, no, okay. I'm not.
Jacob, do not call children names with me present. That is across the line. That is across the snarky line. Take it back. They're inspired.
We have boundaries. We have boundaries.
You may not think that we do, but we do.
We do have snarky boundaries.
I missed this comment. Where's this comment?
So
We're
I have
ignoring
influencer dads trolling me in my inbox. WTF?
What's an influencer dad?
Well, it's like the dads that like post about being dads and they like pretend to be good ones that are supportive, and then they apparently like slip into like.
But is that trolling? Like, how are they trolling?
I
Or are they
wanna
just
know.
being?
I need more
Are they just being
information.
sketchy like this face that I was making?
Kirsten,
Oh.
tell us more.
That's a good
Jacob,
point.
I will fight you. I will absolutely fight you if calling children names. Like, try me. Try me.
Oh.
Oh, I just won't put the comments on screen anymore that I
So,
don't like.
he
So
didn't-
you're being censored.
He
by
didn't
me.
call them a name.
We're going to cancel you.
He didn't call them a name to their face, to be fair.
I don't care. Nope. Doesn't matter. That's a
The
different
dad of an
conversation.
influencer? I'm so overwhelmed right now.
I kind of thought they were like daddypreneurs.
No, stop it, Kirsten. Really?
Oh my God,
dad of an
Kirsten.
influencer?
Okay,
Well,
Kirsten, you have to.
Influencer.
Kristen, I'm going to get into your DMs because you have to come up here and tell the story.
No, I'm so
please do.
confused right now.
Please do. So, I mean, this is kind of like the Wonder Woman where I had to hold my husband back. Like he was trying to like jump off the couch and like go attack whoever gave me the thumbs down. And I wasn't quite sure if it was because they were thumbs downing me or because he was concerned they were thumbs downing the video that he had created.
You know, that's fine.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's dads that like do the photography and camera and all of that for their
I'm not a woman.
I think he might have been talking to someone else.
It's just a women. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, someone's in costume.
Multiple women. That's trolling. I'm offended.
If you like me to put a sweater on, I can like totally take the costume. I'm not taking the costume off, but I can take something over
That's
the
a different show. Brittany,
Very
that
different
we don't do that here. Kevin already tried several occasions to like lift his shirt up, and we don't do that here.
I am not.
Anymore.
There was
We
the
don't
one
do
time
that here
Evan,
just to be
anymore.
clear.
boundaries, snarky boundaries. We will be working it.
We are slowly but
John,
surely.
you look very scared.
Thank you.
You have been
Mm.
seen and acknowledged for being who you are, which is what we all really
Not
should
a
be.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder
You
person.
can call me a Wonder Woman.
See, Michael's got it right there. We
Michael,
are Wonder
people.
people.
We are in
Wonder human.
Oh,
Wonder
there we
human.
go.
Wonder humans. Yeah.
Hey, Enrique.
Hey, Enrique, you are my favorite for saying that. It's interesting. So like I did like a YouTube program and a YouTube course and stuff. And I think what's interesting is like when you create on the internet, like you know that you're gonna get trolled at some point in time. And it's like very interesting to me because I'm like, all of my videos get countless numbers of thumbs downs and like as has been discussed, like YouTube comments can be not as bad as Reddit, but like sinkhole of humanity level. And I have a lot of screenshots of threads. But it's funny because like I think like especially like when you first start posting, you're like, oh my God, like someone said something bad, someone gave me a thumbs down, and you get like really upset. And then like John, like would you care at this point? Your 120,000 followers if someone didn't like your post?
I would start laughing at them. I'd be like, no, it's actually one of my rules though. I'm like, I can't take responsibility for how you feel about what I post. I'm like, I'm sharing my own
your feelings are your business. That's kind of like.
Thank you. So like
Not my
sometimes people,
business.
this isn't trolling, but sometimes people come into my DMs and they're like, you were hurtful to me about what you posted.
And you're like, who are you?
And I said, okay. I'm like, that's nice. And then I block them because the reason is like, I'm not responsible for how I make you feel about what I feel. You are responsible for those feelings. Like, I'm not going to.
Thank you, Rob.
Yes.
Rob is taking care of us
Oh.
right there.
Because
That's
one
true,
is
John. I think
wrong
it's
and
like,
the other one makes me jealous.
Rob,
I
do you
mean-
actually think I have 6-pack abs? Because that is like the best compliment of the day.
Mom with teenagers with 6-pack abs. Wonder Woman.
one teenager, but yeah. That would be a Wonder Woman.
This is not
No,
trolling.
it's not trolling.
Oh, no.
That's totally welcome. Anytime.
We
Some
know
disagree.
more.
Trolling is when you are personally attacking someone. It's bullying. I mean, it's playground bullying.
Yeah.
Is what it
Yeah.
is. It's like, oh, you were inhumane. you are not worthy of being a person. We will not treat you as such, that your personhood matters. That's trolling.
I think it's also when you like you assume someone means something they didn't actually say, and then you start like trashing them because of it.
Yes, that's trolling.
That is the most kind of trolling that I get. Or people that just say, "Oh, you're stupid."
I actually
that's
like
trolling.
seriously though, it's true. I validate you responding to what I'm saying, and I also validate me not giving two shits, because I got 124,000 people. They're all going to be pissed about something that I write.
I mean, that was a line I said to Salty literally earlier this week. Like, I validate your right to feel those feelings, and I validate my right to not care.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I literally say it to them.
Both are valid.
Do you guys do that though? I respond to them. I'm like, I don't care. I literally say it.
No, I just try to make them feel stupid if they're making me try to like if they're trying to make me look stupid, I just make them, unless they're just ridiculous and it's like, you're not worth my time. But if they're like a semi-intelligent person and they're just bashing me, I just try to make them look stupid. And it really doesn't like take, like, my gift is words. So picking a fight with me is kind of stupid.
I don't want to engage them though.
Yeah,
they're
I don't
looking for
engage.
you to I'm sorry, I'm with Chelsea on this. Like, I'm not going to engage. You're deleted. If you turn this into personal attacks, you're done. It's like, that's it. You have no respect for me. See ya. I have no time for you.
They get you more views though. So maybe it's like you already have the audience. For me, it's
I'm
like,
good.
oh, more views. Thank you.
But there's two sides of the coin to that. So like, I think one, when you're arguing back, is it in alignment with your brand? Because sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't.
Yeah,
totally.
And I found myself having arguments that like was not going to call out to any people or make me look the way I want to look on the internet. Not that that's overly curated or anything. But also like, on the other side, like someone who like literally spends their time trolling on the internet, especially to the links to like have anonymous accounts, and they're spending all this time in Reddit and like those levels, like that person is in pain. And I don't, for the most part, want to make people feel bad. I mean, sometimes I want to make people feel bad. Like, I'm just a human. So like, I'll admit it. But like, I felt like poking them back was kind of also misaligned with like what my actual goal is to uplift people. So like if I'm poking back, sure, it's good for vanity metrics, but like, is it?
It's not your brand.
I am? Like,
and I think I do the same thing, Jenny. Like, I'll get in your DMs and be like, can you believe this freaking person said this? And here's what I would have said if I was going to engage.
Yeah, because you need a venting,
and then I just delete it because it's
you need a venting squad. Like you have to have people.
Squad.
That's what I do. I go to like 4 or 5. And Jenny's part of it. I go to Jenny.
Yeah,
and I'm like, look, you believe this? This is what's going on. I'm like, and there's no point in responding back to them because it's like it's not part of your brand. Like you said, you know, people are going to read that and they'll be like, oh, he's not as perfect as I thought he was.
Okay, what Salty said, like, to what extent can we tolerate that person being in pain? Here's my thought on that. We don't have to tolerate it. They're allowed to be in pain, and we're allowed to block or delete them. Yes. We don't have to tolerate it, but we don't have to engage in it. I think we're allowing them to feel that way without having to engage. I think that's two very different things.
But why do we care about them? They're strangers.
So two things.
Well, stop.
Number one. Literally don't know them.
Hold up.
They don't matter to me.
Two things. One, we are going into way too much value here. I'm just going to call it out because I see it.
But no. Okay. So this is something that I think we need to discuss. There's a difference between being anti-value in that no one came here with takeaways and checklists. No one's taking notes in the conversation. We're anti-value, we're not anti-substance. And I think that that's a big difference.
Oh, because that is helpful.
Being superficial is not something that, I don't know, for me, that feels good. And like, I don't know about Chelsea, but like we did a live with Usama and like, that was awesome. We have done lives individually together with real conversations. Like this is to have fun. This is to have laughs, but you can have laughs, but you can also have a real conversation because I'm not a stand-up comedian. I'm not going to be a stand-up comedian, you guys. I know Kevin doesn't want to be a stand-up comedian. I don't know, Chelsea, is it your forte?
Michael, too much value. I'm agreeing with you on that one, but you just raised the bar so much on Snark Squad. Holy crap.
I mean, well, we'll talk about next week, but next week is going to be another juicy conversation. But we can't talk about trolls without talking about value, because there is real people behind it on both sides of the trolling. And if we don't talk about both sides of it and we're just superficial about it, then like, what's the point of having a conversation?
So that was to my second part, is like, I don't actually deal with a lot of internet trolls, but I do deal with quite a few in real life trolls. Like, people talk crap about me quite frequently. Partially because, one, my last name is Love, so I've heard every rumor under the sun about who I am and what I do. Two, I'm married to someone who's Mexican, and apparently that's surprising to people. It doesn't surprise me. I was at my wedding. Lesson one, I need more costumes. Yes, you do. It's so much fun. And like, three, like, I just think there are some people that anytime they approach a confident person are really just scared.
Yes. Confidence makes people uncomfortable if they don't have confidence.
It does. That'll bring it down.
Yay, Enrique's Mexican. Okay.
I'd like to address Michael's comment. Jenny, will you put up Michael's comment?
Which one? Substance without value?
So substance without value, here's my thought on that. Value means that we're going into this intentionally saying, here's the 5 takeaways that you're going to take away from this conversation. That's value. I believe that's what you were talking about, Jenny. Substance means that we are quality humans with a deep understanding of certain pieces, and we like to bring those pieces into the conversation that allows for substance. So yes, there is a difference between substance and value. And in this case, we are not bringing intentional value. You won't have 5 takeaways. However, you will come away with quality inside the conversation rather than just bullshit all the time.
I actually
4 different snarky opinions.
I don't know that I agree with that definition, because I think that humor is actually valuable if you're in a really crap situation. But I mean, that's why everybody shows up to Snark Squad, right? Because they need the value of like smiling in their workplaces. And we've got the most studious people in the audience.
What are these notes? Are you going to read them? Does anybody actually take notes and read them?
I expect everyone to post their notes after this conversation, because
what does it even mean to take notes?
I take notes so that
in my head.
Don't get distracted. Like, notes are what I do so I don't get distracted and I never go back to them.
No, exactly. It's like, oh, look, I look busy. I'm going to take these notes. I'm like,
This is like, I have
really important.
And
I'm sorry, I got to take notes.
I think Jacob just won the internet today.
We'll burn the notes and breathe them.
No, that's a reason to take notes.
I mean,
as long as the first note is that you need more costumes. Yes, then you can breathe that in.
What are we testing people on? What's the definition of a troll? I don't know.
Like according to each of our like
we didn't really give any definition.
Oh my god.
Someone who's trying to destroy my soul. That's really it.
But if you want to be tested on your best costume, I will totally judge that test. Remember, all clothes.
The notes.
Ooh, Ariel's getting legit.
Ariel's getting up in our face and being like, yo, I take notes, guys.
I love how this show has come about taking notes.
Yeah, I take notes. I'm going to defend my note taking. Ariel's on it. Salting.
So back to trolling. It's like we're trolling about, but like there's like, but here's the other thing. So I put in my post, and I know that Luke disagreed, but I also think like, Dominic is on this platform, and I know a lot of you guys are connected with him as well. But he's like, he calls himself a positive troll, and he just goes and he's like, you were awesome, so much awesomeness, and like spreads a lot of positivity. Do you guys think that trolling is always a bad thing, or can trolling be used for good?
It's never used for good.
So I consider my trolling of trolls on other people's feeds like a good thing, but is it a completely positive thing? I'm not sure. I think it depends. Like, there's sometimes when you can actually help people realize they're being a jerk.
I don't think that you can.
It depends on the troll.
Are you with me, Chelsea? I really don't think you can.
I disagree. I don't think they.
I think that they are there to be a jerk, and there's like a lot of empathy from this room for these random strangers who make our lives hell that I just don't have.
But it's not necessarily.
I have all of the empathy for the random people. It's fine.
No, I like respect that. I respect the hell out of you. I just don't have the same level of empathy. I'm like, he's being a jerk. He's in pain. Okay, well, he caused me emotions that I don't want to deal with. That I'm gonna have to deal with. I'm gonna have to. You guys know this. You've all been in therapy, right? I'm gonna have to process this now for 3 days.
True story.
And I don't know him, so no, he's gone.
That's the difference. I've just had way scarier people in real life, so trolls don't actually affect me that much. I'm kind of like, meh. So like, I don't really take their comments, even if they're horrible, at face value. Like, I'm just like, the smart people I know wouldn't say that. If they're saying that they're not smart, I don't need to listen to them. And but so I don't take on their pain. Yeah, but I totally see if you're like, but
also when you have Reddit communities that are being set up to like call you all sorts of terrible things, and that is associated with your name in a Google search that can impact people who work with you in your employment. That's also like, that can actually like cause more severe, long-lasting, because once it's on the internet, it's there forever, and you don't control those things, and you're not going to get it taken off the site. Like, Reddit does not care, 8chan does not care, Twitter does not care.
That's true.
A search for me ends up with, if you search for me, you end up with the trolls are first and foremost for my name.
Everyone is
libelous. Yeah, they can all find the troll things that people say.
You realize they're probably mostly bots too, right? Like, that's the
no, they're real.
No, these people
are
like real. No, I actually.
No, they're real.
I think, John, the first, like, when this started, I think I actually Googled you to see what was going on. I was like, oh, don't envy you right now.
Yeah, it's libelous. It's slander, and it's my name that's out there, and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, so I think it's like different of like someone leaving a mean comment versus like someone like they're like, I don't know, for me, like, and I'm curious what you guys think.
Ripping you
I do see that there is a continuum in terms of commitment, hate, negativity, and impact that also comes into play of like, and this is like, I mean, I've had this rant before, like, there needs to be more protection for creators. Like, there needs to be, because like, and this is going back 10 years. I don't think anything has changed, or 15 years. Nothing has changed. I had death threats on the internet. I had people sending me voice notes telling me that they were going to decapitate me and do awful things to my skull. And when I filed a police report, the police were like, oh, no, I don't know who has jurisdiction. It seems to be an internet thing that we won't take seriously. Well, they were also publishing my address. So yeah, that was a scary thing. So like, there's a difference to me there, and that's what I am afraid of. And like, I don't know which troll that I troll back is going to get triggered into there, because I don't know their pain scale. And that's where like, so yeah, I don't care when you tell me I'm a vapid idiot who needs to stop talking like a valley girl. It's funny, and I'll screenshot it and I'll blur your name and I'll put it on the internet. But I don't know which one of you is going to get mad about that and become that person, you know?
That's right.
Yeah, and I think
I
to
don't
your
have
point,
my
Jenny,
address anywhere.
Yeah. So to your point, Jenny, is behavior is a form of communication, right? So these people that are trolling, the ones that aren't being stupid, like Luke and Jacob, the people that are actually trolling, they're using this behavior as a form of communication. So I think that's why it's important. That's for me, that I have empathy for that human, and then I disengage, because I don't know what they're trying to communicate to me. And it could be that they're dealing with suicidal thoughts. It could be that they're dealing with all of these deep things that we don't understand. Or it could be that they're having a shit day, but I don't know which side of the spectrum they're on. And I don't want to be responsible for pushing them further into whatever side by trying to prove my value to this person that I don't know. It just doesn't fit with who I am and what I understand about other people and kind of what I'm looking to bring in. So I just see it as a form of communication, crappy communication. I blow it off and move on.
And we're providing value, and this isn't funny, I'm sorry, but I do want to like respond to that, because I think that the best way to deal with the trolls for me has been what you just said, Chelsea. It's the empathy, right? Empathy doesn't mean that you feel bad for them. Empathy means, okay, what is going on with this person? Like, how can someone be so hateful to just a random bearded dude who they've never met? Like, what kind of pain are they in that they have to form a community and place so much time and energy into that hate? Wow. I mean, it's kind of flattering. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I can be that source for you.
You are a
Like,
very
that's really
important
cool. I'm like so important because I put words out on LinkedIn that I deserve this. So thank you. And like, it's like LinkedIn, my God. And like, but it does actually help to lessen the blow because you're just like, you know what? They can't help it. And it doesn't mean that you engage, but it does help you realize like, no, this can't possibly a personal attack on me because they don't know who I am. They've never even talked to me. But yeah, I think you're right. I think there are all of those lines. And to Jenny's point, like, which is the one who's like, okay, well, they might just, the next day do something bad. Yeah, there is empathy for that, for sure. And I think it does, that has softened the blow for me. Sorry, guys, value. Not
no, it's fine. It's fine. But also, like, I mean, Johnny, even like look at like the situation that happened to you. Like that started with one angry person who then rallied the troops. Because as soon as one person is there, they can move other angry people move very easily. We have witnesses in so many regards in the world. But it takes that one person.
The Capitol building.
Also,
not that anyone was thinking exactly that same thing. But
yeah, no, I mean like, no, I mean like, and you can, again, to like not be like super political about it, like you can say that like with so many movements and so many actions on like mass scale and micro scale, right?
Oh yeah.
But it does take that one person, and then that person, terrorist organizations, hate organizations, like they all start with a fringe and then they move the norm.
I think what we're talking, like what we're almost talking about here is cancel culture, which just like invite the trolls if you've got that word on your lips, like that we're just talking about. But it's not really. I see cancel culture.
This is not
and
cancel
trolling
culture. That's two different things. Yeah. Cancel culture is just a bunch of triggered people who are just like waiting to get. It's like anti-trolling.
Really?
Yeah, I think cancel culture is like, you hurt my feelings so much that like I have to destroy you. It's like, that's not trolling. Trolling is the opposite of that. Trolling's like, no, you didn't hurt my feelings.
Destroying for destroying's sake.
They're both destroying. I think they're opposite ends of the spectrum of destroy, right? Like cancel culture is like, I'm really sensitive and you hurt me. Like that shit where I said like I don't care about your feelings because I really don't.
But
that's cancel
culture. But the emotionality and the manipulation can be the same. But
and you hurt me. It's like the same thing. They're just taking it in a gruffer voice.
But there's a difference between. I see a difference.
I think it's the same thing. I think that it's as detrimental to people. I just think trolling and cancel culture are literally the opposite ends.
Really?
Right? Where it's like, because somebody's trying to be more morally superior to you in cancel culture, right? That's the whole point of it. I'm a better person, so I'm going to judge you. Okay, I'll say it in a gruff voice. I'm a better person, so I'm going to judge you. And like, I'm up here, right? And and you're down here. That, I
don't think cancel culture has the gruff voice. I think it's the trolls that have the gruff voice. Like, I think it's the same thing.
Okay. Yeah. It's like two random voices.
We're like anthropomorphizing trolls here.
Anthropomorphizing.
I mean, they're kind of not people unless they're like, I'm totally
a lawyer can't do anything. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, you can't get rid of this stuff on Reddit. It's there.
Yeah, jurisdiction is just garbage, and I think.
Sorry, Michael. I wish I could. I thought about it.
I mean, I think some companies do have policies. So, like, what is it? It's either Google or Yelp. I think it's Yelp that has a policy that if you can demonstrate that the person isn't warranted in making this comment, like if people are just randomly talking crap about you, then you can actually block it. But it's all up
for reviews. Yes, my threats came from Yelp. My death threats came from the Yelp community. They moved off of Yelp, but that's where it started, which is super weird.
That's really weird, Jenny.
Like, there's
Yelp,
I mean, to Jenny's point, like the real problem here is that content creators have absolutely no jurisdiction over things that are really hurtful to your brand and your reputation. There's nothing you can do about it, and the internet just kind of shrugs and says, well, you put yourself out there because you put content out there, therefore it's on you, right? That's how people say it.
Like, lawmakers don't understand what the internet is.
Well, that is a big problem.
You have to hire someone under the age of like 1,000 before you have good laws that really can address these things.
But you have a massive problem with the internet internet is global and nobody owns it. So if someone is, you have state jurisdiction, first level of issue, because states have more rights than the federal government. However, if that person is using a VPN that is going through Sweden, let's say, then this jurisdiction is actually in Sweden. So now you have to have the agreement of 2 governments. What if that person is sitting in Canada? Now you have 3. So this is where it starts to get very, very fuzzy. And this is something that I learned about, like when I studied criminology, we're going way back. And then, like I learned about it in context of like racialized groups and neo-Nazis and how they were being radicalized on the internet, and how there was like pretty much not a lot that they could do. They could subpoena their organizations, but then you also have activist companies like 8chan, which will just let everything like look what happens with full anonymity on the internet. It's a terrible thing. So like there's always going to, and Reddit to a certain degree does allow that as
it
well.
Does.
Like Reddit
and encourages it with its upvoting and its downvoting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's encouraging bullying and anonymity and all of that and bad behavior for sure.
Yeah, and like I would spin it closer into like how we tolerate bullying, and this goes to like Chelsea and childhood education. Like we tolerate bullying from a very early age, and that just like grows up into adulthood.
No. Parents teach their kids how to bully. I'm sorry, I've seen it so many times. Parents are the ones that teach their kid what bullying is, and they encourage it. And then that's how kids get started, and then it spirals. But yeah,
I think you're going into the nature over nurture concept.
I don't know if I agree with that. A child
can be a bully with having parents who are lovely human beings.
Right.
So I don't know that that's necessarily always the case, because my child could go out and bully a child, but I have not taught her that. She may have picked it up from other media inputs.
There's a lot of nature with bullying behavior. I agree with Chelsea. We always kind of agree on these things.
They can, you and Chelsea are like,
we're just like annoying bullies. We're kind of trolling a little bit. But I agree with Chelsea. I've seen kids who just have that bullying tendency, and it has nothing to do with their lovely parents, right? It's just like, that's the kid. They're just,
they can be, but I have also seen the opposite, where the kids are bullies because the parents are bullies.
Well, that's, I mean, nature and nurture, it's going to be a combination for sure.
They're going to follow what's being modeled for them, but I would not say that it's exclusive.
100%.
Every bully is learning that from their parent. They're
100%.
They're processing their internal behavior.
What else did you say? They're learning it from somewhere. And some of them, quite frankly, are just
not always. I mean,
not always. I don't think they're always learning it from somewhere.
They could just be communicating what they're feeling to the best of their abilities, and it's coming out in that way.
That's right.
So they're communicating in that way. They could be creating it on their own. They're not seeing it anywhere, or they are.
They don't know it's bullying behavior. To Chelsea's point, a lot of it is just the way that they're communicating how they feel. So they don't necessarily,
the vast majority of time they've seen it somewhere. People don't necessarily, like, the vast majority of time, kids don't self-traumatize themselves. Like it
but psychopaths are psychopaths.
Like
sociopathy is a brain disorder. It's not a
and autism is the same thing.
But there's a very small proportion that are psychopaths, and there's a large portion that are bullies. Like I bullied people when I was a kid, not all the time, not every time, but like I remember incidents. I still feel guilty over it years later. But hey, I was a crap stupid kid, and hopefully people have forgiven me and moved on and seen their therapists. But that's also one of the reasons, like really hopeful. I think I probably like bash myself more than I was actually mean to people. I really, 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 truly hope. But I think that's like, Jenny, what you said about the internet, that is actually the exact reason why I don't let my kid have social media. And I can't, and like I've been called, like I've gotten the parent bullying from this, like, oh, well, you got to pick your battles. Like, that's a battle I am willing to die on, honey, because no, just the stuff that can happen online.
It's totally different level. And for so many parents, it is like, you don't even necessarily see it. John, I know that you have a meeting. He's only here.
I gotta run in like 5 minutes.
I can't believe that you're gonna leave us, and then like when we're having this conversation.
You're my only friend here, apparently, John.
I know. We gotta like hang out and just agree on everything all the time.
We won't troll you.
Okay.
We won't troll
I just love
Chelsea,
this.
we promise.
Just please don't go and talk to the Reddit people, because
Don't
they may convince you.
intel.
They may convince you that they
Oh,
they're
that-
saying
I
is
don't even have
Fun.
Reddit, so
John, that is actually a really good point. Like trolls can get in your head and make you believe things that aren't true. Because I have definitely.
Oh no. Well, that's what I said about
myself.
processing. Yeah, I think I want to end on this. Like the problem with trolling is it is all internal, right? So like when you see the things that people are saying, right, it's very hard to not believe that what they're saying is true. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so you're like, oh, gee, what if they're right? You know, like when they come to that level and they're so deep, right? They're calling me like a rapist of young women. Like they're saying this all the time. You're like, what am I doing to the young women that I'm doing? Is it really true?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you start to be like, maybe they're onto something. That's really the problem with the trolling is that, you know, rationally you can say, well, they're fucking idiots, right? But emotionally, and we all seem like
You
we're
can't
very,
say
very
that on
emotionally
LinkedIn or
aware.
YouTube, though.
I'm sorry, I cursed again. I'm so sorry, Jennifer.
Our YouTube
I'm
channel
so
is
sorry.
monetized.
not more than
Yeah.
Kevin usually, so we're fine.
Oh no, you missed
but I
you missed
think-
the beginning, Chelsea. There was a lot.
Did I?
There's a lot. But I think the problem, and I want to end with this, is that the emotional processing of what the trolls are saying and the message behind it is the real detrimental thing to ourselves and our authenticity and what we believe ourselves to be. And that questioning that goes into it because they're saying these things, that's actually the hardest part for it, right? And I'm a fairly self-aware dude. Hopefully that's coming across to people talking about here. But like, what if you're not? Like, what if you aren't self-aware? Like, what if you like don't have the self-esteem that I do to really like know how to process this stuff? And like, you're really young, you never went to therapy. I mean, I just put a post out on LinkedIn. I've been to therapy for 11 years. I'm open about it, right? So I know I have the tools to process this, but like, what if someone is getting trolled like I am and they're like 23 and they don't like, how do you deal with it then? That's what leads to real mental health problems.
Yeah, that was my situation.
Or you're one of the people coming to the internet for validation. Like
That's
a lot of people
right.
are
A lot of
posting
people
because
who
they're
try
looking
and
for
get
the
big
likes.
followings, they want the adoration. I'm like Jenny said, I'm like the most like, I don't want to be an influencer. Like, where did this audience come from? Like, this is ridiculous. Like,
you can send your audience my way. Like,
sure, I would absolutely
like,
go take them.
But I'm like giving him. Okay, I'm gonna use my curse word of the day. I was giving him shit last weekend because like he is not benefiting off of his following as much as other people are benefiting off of his following.
I'm the worst influencer alive because this was never meant to happen. I didn't come here to get any adoration or any likes. And I think that's a really good point, though, again, before I leave, like the people who do come and get big followings are there for adoration and likes. And so the trolling, when that happens, it is feeding their worst impulses. And that's the danger here. This is a mental health issue, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, for
Absolutely.
sure.
Totally agree. Well,
Okay.
John, you just gave yourself a high note. Do you want me to like play a video for you to sneak out on? Because I don't think I've gotten to use it yet. Okay.
You guys got to see my dad dancing.
Everyone drop in some comments to like.
What?
That's super creepy. That's super creepy. No.
Oh, wait, I got to leave with this.
Oh dear.
No. I'm still here.
That's
I have to go.
awkward.
That's what that was for.
That
That was
totally
so
made it
awkward.
You have to,
Okay,
you have
bye.
To go. Here, I'll take you off. Okay, bye.
Oh, that was hilarious.
That worked out well. That worked out well, Jenny. I think we
So
handled that.
I mean,
Okay,
because
but you've actually
surprise snarks. I don't know how to get rid of them. So like, I created that because it's intuitive.
I know, and
I
you
don't know what
successfully
to do.
first done your first offboarding of a guest snark. So congratulations.
I know, but like it was pre-discussed because when he did agree to come on and stand in, he already had the meeting, and yeah, so there's that. I'm just catching up on comments. I thought that there was something that was really.
Is Jenny only breaking up for me?
No.
or is
She's
she-
cutting in and out. Jenny, we're just going to speak over you. So,
Please do.
people
Please
who
do.
troll on the internet are not always bullies in the real world because it's safe behind this keyboard. Yes, I saw that too. And we were in such deep conversation. Michael, you have you've landed a load of gems today, but I think that is so true. And thank you for pointing that out. Jenny, you're back. You can
Okay,
comment.
cool. Yeah, no, I wanted to hit on that as well, because like we did talk, like we've referred, especially around like Reddit and like all of that stuff, is like the internet does provide the safety when you can't see the person. You forget that there's the person on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many different levels and dimensions, but like I think like Jamal, I can't remember if he said it when he was here, but like he's just like, you are not going to show up at my door and say those things to me. Like,
Right. Yeah.
I dare you to. And but there's like Jamal. This liberate. I mean, like he's on another live right now, so I can't drag him up here. But like I feel like he like.
Oh, we're losing her again.
So Jenny, I think, is saying that Jamal is on another live and we can't bring him into the conversation, unfortunately. I think.
Yummer.
Am I breaking up again?
You were.
Yeah, you were.
You're back. You've been doing it like on and off, but most of the time it just paused your video so we could still see you. Or we couldn't see you, but we could still hear you.
Okay. Yeah. My internet is jacked. I don't.
It's the trolls. They are out to get you.
My internet provider is trolling me.
Oh, wait. I actually know this, and I'm going to share it to anyone else who's having like problems.
I'm processing, Drew. I'm processing.
Try your modem and your router to make sure they're up to to make sure that they've got like their system updates. But if you haven't like switched them out in the past 3 years, like really try that, because I went from like 20, megabytes per second to like 200. No, megabytes, gigabytes, whatever.
Are you trolling, Michael? Good job. Way to do it. I had some very deep thoughts regarding some of our conversations, Drew. So I'm just kind of processing through some of my rants so that I won't rant them here.
I mean, why wouldn't you rant them here? Like, why?
John left. He's my only friend.
Chelsea, I mean, I think I was ranting for your whole. I was ranting for your whole live on Wednesday. You can totally rant here.
That's probably true. It was a good rant. No, I mean, we've talked a lot. I think like we've talked a lot about this before, especially Jenny, like you and I and Kevin have talked a lot about it, is mental health around content creation. And I think that is just a huge thing that doesn't have the attention that it needs, because we've touched on every type of creator and even every type of commenter inside of this. Everybody's dealing with their own mental health issues. They're the creators that are looking for validation. They're coming from their own space. The creators that are just looking to create for the sake of creation of their business or whatever, they're coming from their own space. Then there's the people who are commenting to encourage. They have their own space. The people who are commenting to troll, they have their own space. And I think regardless of the avatar of the commenter or the creator, what they have, what they hold, I think we always need to come from a baseline of this person's behavior as a form of communication, and what are we doing to have empathy for that human, regardless of where they stand or why or what they're doing. And I think that's the biggest thing, because if they're there, like what John was saying, if they're there for validation and someone's trolling them, they're going to be impacted much differently than like John might, because he's not there for validation. But regardless of that, we need to be aware of what we're doing to other creators' comments or otherwise, and what that's stirring in them, because we just don't know what's going on. And speaking personally for me, and Kevin has spoken to this before, is like when I got on here, it's only been a year for me since I've been creating, and there was a lot, like it took a lot out of me to do what I was doing initially. And there's even days, like Jenny knows, where I just can't do it. I can't engage in the community. It takes too much from me. And people don't know what it's taking, or the effort that's being put in behind the scenes for the person who's creating. And so for us to come against that person in any way, really, not to say that we can't have different opinions, but to really come against them and discredit what they're doing or something like that, how atrocious, because we don't know what it took for them to get there.
I mean, it takes a lot less energy to crap in the bathroom than to build the bathroom, right? Like that's just the reality. Like I think
depends on
and you're not building a bathroom, you're building something cooler. And I just like that's actually one of the things that almost almost all of the clients that I work with have to overcome. And it's something I had to overcome myself, having been bullied on the internet before there were even such a thing as content creators. Like in the official, like people actually create content for I don't know what reason we create content for like kicks and giggles. But they like people are just scared to put themselves out there because they might get attacked. And like helping people overcome that getting attacked is like something that like I help people work through. And even when you're solid in yourself, if you're dealing with something in your personal life, like it's one thing to just show up in a Wonder Woman costume. And it's another thing to actually like process everything that's said when you are getting the feedback from whatever you're doing online.
Yeah, it's I feel like I'm lucky as a creator because for the most part, like my default is like internal confidence and not giving an F what people outside of my bubble think. But catch me on a bad day with the right, like hit the right nerve on the right day. And like, you're going to trigger me. Like no one is infallible. But there was, and now I forgot what I was going to say. I totally forgot what I was going to say.
You were talking about internal versus external value. Like you have to be strong in your internal value and not be looking so much from external value or it'll overwhelm you.
It was an offshoot, and it's probably why I forget. And I'm sure it was like extremely intellectual, and everyone was gonna write it down and be like, "Wow, that was just."
They were gonna add it to their notes.
They were totally gonna put it onto their notes, and now I don't remember. But I'm sure it's gonna come back to me.
Completely different, and you'll probably remember it in like 5 minutes, or like right before the end, and it'll be like the thing. It's the truth bomb that you will drop before we exit. Don't worry, it will come back to you. I love that you're putting my comment up like when I'm actually.
Yeah, no, it's actually it moved. I was trying to put, and so here's what you guys don't see on the StreamYard is this moves quickly. So I usually am trying to put up another comment, and then another comment pops up, and then it moves, and I don't know, but it's no, okay. I remember what I was going to say. Going back to Chelsea's point in terms of like you don't know what it took for someone to get to that point to like post that thing or share that thought or whatever it is. And one of the filters that I've long time.
Okay, you're back. Okay. It was cutting out, but you were like, oh no, wait. Okay. Breathe and remember.
I know the internet's good time. One of the filters that I've set, like in terms of like, okay, I think I also have a delay, so I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do, you guys.
Just keep talking.
I have a point, but I don't know if the internet's working. So one of the things that I've done on YouTube is like, I differentiate troll. So, and this goes back to also comments that were above is like, you can come and you can disagree with me. We can have a difference of opinion. That is totally cool. I love difference of opinions. I love debates. I love hearing your perspective. I need more people who don't agree with me in my life. And I am intentionally curating that into my feed. Where I draw the line and where I delete comments and block people, and trust me, I have a love affair with my block button, is people who come at me personally as like, the way that you talk, the way that you look, you're an idiot. Like, and it's the personal attacks. That for me is what differentiates a troll from someone that like, I probably kind of actually want to learn more about what you have to say. Yeah, and like, because the thing is you have to be comfortable with
content to bring value. Yeah. Yes. I mean, like they're wanting to say, I disagree with this point, let's talk about that based on your content. If they're disagreeing with how you look or how you talk or a word that you used or whatever, that's completely different. And really, so I can disagree with what you say and we can come to a conclusion about our concept. There is a theoretical way to resolve that situation, right? But if I disagree that your hair is blonde and I don't like it, like there's no resolution to that. There's no meeting of the minds and coming in. Like, where's the value that you're bringing? I mean, I think disagreeing with me on something I say could intentionally widen my perspective or widen your perspective, or we could bring value to each other through the conversation. But coming against someone for what they look like, what they talk like, whatever, no one's going away with that from that.
Yeah, those are the people that I just like spam, slam. Like, I don't even like it actually happened in that YouTube group where someone was making fun of, got made fun of on their YouTube video. And then I like actually like attacked them. I don't even know this person, but I'm like, you don't make fun of someone for the way that they look. And that the person had eczema. And I was like, okay, so do I. And gratefully it's not in a location where people normally see it. But good Lord, like the last thing we need for people who are actually providing real value in the world, not just people who are showing up and snarking all the time, is to slam them and make them go quiet. Because what happens if all the trolls win? If the trolls win, then we have nothing of value in the world. We have nothing good in the world. And we are just in this like horrible hellhole. And I don't think hell is a cuss word in this circumstance, LinkedIn, YouTube. But we are just in this horrible hellhole that none of us wants to live in. And like, I believe in an afterlife, but for heaven's sakes, for the people who don't, like, this is all you get. So we want to make it really, really good, you know? Regardless of who.
I think that's a valuable question. Like, so Jenny and Brittany, like, what if we were to say, okay, troll, you win. You don't like my hair blonde, I'll dye it or whatever. Like, what would the world look like in 10 years if we all started just saying, you know, you're right, and engaging with them and following their lead? Like, what would be left?
Well, and who do we actually listen to? I like Salty's point here.
Right.
So I can disagree with your ideas, but that doesn't mean I don't like you as a person or whatnot. What would happen if everyone agrees with everyone? It would be so freaking boring. And this is true. But and I mean, we will get into this and I'll talk about that towards the end of the show. But like there is such a difference where like you can, and I find, here's the thing that I find with trolls. And this is like for the person in the debate, IRL, for the bully, like whoever it is, I feel like things turn personal when there's like a lack of strength of opinion or a lack of a strength in facts. And it's just like, so like one of my really good friends in college, he was like way older than me. So he was not in college, but we were politically opposites, like polar opposites. And we had this like 3-hour debate one night at a party at his house. And obviously there's no winning in a political debate because it's your own personal beliefs. Like you're not moving anyone there. And I was not changing. He was not changing. But what ended up devolving, instead of discussing the ideas and the ideologies behind our stances and what we cared about, it devolved into a personal attack. And that was for me. I started crying, and I literally started crying because I was drinking, and I cry when I drink. I don't do well when I'm not in control. But I started crying. I'm like, if we can disagree all day long, but when you make it about me, that's where we can't be friends anymore. Like if you're going to say I'm stupid and unevolved because of my beliefs, then I can't be friends with you. That is going to impact our friendship. But if we just have a difference of opinion, I'm actually somewhat interested, and that's why we're having this conversation, because I respect you enough to hear you. You're being like, why is this triggering for me? Why is this an issue? There's just I'm not comfortable, so I will make you uncomfortable as well. Or I will do my best to make you uncomfortable.
I'm just going to recap real quick, but like you're talking about personal attacks and like making it about you as opposed to making about the subject. And I completely agree. I've also had a situation where we were political opposites on the spectrum. I think we came up with like 3 things within the past 18 years that we agreed upon, which I think is amazing. We didn't talk for 4 years, and I'll let you decide which 4 years those were. But it was because we respected each other enough to know that it would devolve into the name calling if like the lines just got crossed. And so what we did is we pieced out and said, hey, we'll come back to this argument, this disagreement, this opposing opinion another day. And I think you're back now. So.
Okay, I was out.
But where's Chelsea?
So Chelsea, I think her camera's off, so I don't know if she has to step away for a moment. So I just took her off, and I'll put her back.
Okay.
Back up. I mean, like, hopefully you're not just here by yourself. Like it could happen. It's happened to people on their live streams before. So
I'll keep going. But you are back, and yeah.
No, it's I think it's easy for us to default into like, I think like rationalizing like. I don't even know what I want to say here, but like, I feel like trolling is kind of the easy way out. quite honestly. It's easy to be unhappy. It's easy to drag other people down. It's so much harder to lift other people up. Like, honestly, it is harder. It is easier for me to be miserable. It is easier for me to complain. It is easier for me to wallow. Does it take active effort? Of course it does. But it is easier. It is harder for you to do the hard work in yourself and be like, why am I unhappy? Do I deserve to be happier than I am now? And to like let people lift you up.
Yeah,
you do want to lift you up, because I think that that's consistent for all of us is all of us are trying to help people be the best version of themselves in some way, whether it's through education, whether it's through career, branding, marketing, sales, streaming, like whatever you do, you are trying to improve people's lives. And not everyone is ready to receive that. And that can be very triggering for them when they are not ready to receive.
I agree. And I had a way to extend it like 2 seconds ago, and I completely just lost my train of thought. Like, it's like, this is the, like, oh, wow. There's just blank. There's a blank up there. But no, I completely agree with that. Like, I really do think everybody's trying to do their best to make the world a better place in some way. That's actually why I call out to those people Michael, yay. But that's why I call out to those people specifically, because I think people who know they're trying to make the world a better place in their own unique way, they really end up doing it in some way. There's no like one prescribed way that we all have to be in this world to actually like encourage. I do think that's what I was going to say. I do think in some ways, like people who think it's harder to be positive and to like have a good, easy life, it's actually not. It's just they have so much crap in the way that and they're afraid of what they'll find. Like, I usually talk smack about my kid. I don't think that's anything that surprises anyone. She's a troll. She's like 15. It's the worst. She's not even the worst age. It was worse before. She's actually starting to get human. But one thing that I will she somehow stumbled upon lucid dreaming. And in her lucid dream, I don't know like what she Googles. Like I apparently missed this search, but in her lucid dreaming, she's able to do it. I don't know how she does that either, but she actually like realized she was lucid dreaming and said, okay, show me my biggest fear. And she saw her biggest fear. I won't share what it is because that's like her business.
That's hers.
The worst part is I wasn't home. So like she woke up and she was like in that paralyzed state where you can't actually move. And then no one was there to wake her fully up. But like I come home and like she's bawling and I'm like, what happened? But I think if a 15-year-old can look their deepest fear in the face boldly, that means us as an adults, like, just go for it. Because what's the worst that happens? Like, you have so much more safety than a 15-year-old does. So much more safety. But so, like, her safety is like, do we have it together? Which, no, we don't.
Yeah. I think, though, that there's like, and I just thought of this analogy, and it's probably not my thought. I probably read it somewhere, but like, when you're lying under a pile of boulders, it's easier to lie under a pile of boulders. It is hard to start lifting. It is hard to admit that you need help. There's all of those things. And like, I think ultimately that's like, if we're assuming that people who are trolling outside of like the hobby trollers like Luke, like people who are legitimately just going out to people, setting up troll accounts on the internet, if we're just like, okay, they're taking on frustrations, like they're medicating in the wrong way. So like, I don't know if Amy is not here. I don't think I've seen her in the chat, but like we all medicate our pain in some sort of way. So like some people use drugs, some people use alcohol, some people use gambling, some people use watching too much television, some people use food, some people use trolling. And like, so when you're on the recipient side of that, you're like my kid. So when you're on the recipient
really bad nervous tip.
Yeah. Oh, but the thing is, like when you're on one of your nerves, right? So you have to remember that the person who is saying that, doing that, taking that action is like, that is a them problem. They're making it a you problem.
So just making sure everyone got that. Like Jenny just landed on the like when people hit your nerves when they're trolling you, it's their problem. It's not your problem. You cut out for just like one brief second.
Oh, okay.
And clearly y'all have seen my mind reading abilities. No, I just understood. I understood what you were saying because I've known you long enough. So this is my special gift, mind reading ability.
Yay.
Oh, yay,
Since
you're
I
back.
keep on dropping out. She's back.
Yeah, I was like talking to myself for a while there. I'm like, she's out. And I'm just going to fill in what I think she's saying and we'll figure it out later. Maybe she's saying something else. Oh, like
You're
people
on mute.
who can listen.
I'm muted and I'm talking. Sorry. I was trying to work my daughters through some frustrating experiences with each other.
I mean, so same conversation, different audience.
It's
Same
like
conversation, different audience.
Anti-troll intervention. This is great.
Seriously, that was exactly what was going on. The way that you say something impacts the other person. You don't get to choose how it impacts the other person. So be careful with what you're saying. Just, same conversation. Seriously.
Oh, I know the terms for this. It's intent versus impact.
Mm-hmm.
How was it intended versus how did it actually make the person feel? That's where most communication things break down.
Mm-hmm. Jenny, you're broken today.
I don't know. I don't know what is up with my. And for everyone who gave advice, by the way, my husband is an engineer who has worked through all of this. We have no explanation other than the need to maybe get some more routers.
I mean, it could just totally be your internet provider. I had troubles yesterday, so.
Yeah, I live in an area where the provider, there's no competition, and what that means.
Me too. Can we guess what provider this might be?
Mine is Optimum, and I don't name and shame, but I will name and shame Optimum all day long.
I have Spectrum.
All
They're
day
pretty much
long.
the same. They were Time Warner before.
Yeah.
What are we?
Chelsea, I just want to shout out that Drew made a mime comment. I don't know.
So
Michael has gotten an enormous amount of value with all of his notes, though. So I'm really happy that we were able to provide so much value today.
Unintentionally.
Unintentional value.
Wait, no. It wasn't value. It was
substance. Hey, I actually now see the ladder. Like now I see it. I have been looking for this ladder that everybody's been talking about for this entire thing. Like, I know there has to be a ladder because multiple people have said that there's a ladder, but I see no ladder.
I mean, the funny thing is no one mentions my pinto beans. Y'all control me from my office. I'm on the porch. This is what we do in a pandemic. Open floor plans. Wonderful. Mm-hmm. Except when you're in a pandemic. Jenny, I'm so jealous of your downstairs office. You have no idea.
So I fell into like the YouTube interior design rabbit hole, and apparently the new trend in house design is the opposite of open plan as a direct result of pandemic. Of like people are like, we need more rooms. We need let's get some walls in here, and I'm like,
a wall.
Give me all the walls. Make them soundproof. Let me hide from my children.
I don't even need a door. Just box me in.
See, and I already knew I needed that just because I live in like such a noisy, like small house, but I can totally buy that. And thank you for telling me that, because I tell my husband, I'm like, this is the cutting edge of what all the people with money want you to build them. So figure out how to build that. And we will be rolling in dough.
Michael gets upset when his comments aren't on screen. They have to get more to it.
Michael,
in fairness, there has been a lot of comments, and I am struggling to even I haven't even gotten to read them. So we have a value question. What is the best way to recover when someone with good intent has unexpected negative impact? I mean, focus on the intent.
Oh, is it you or is it someone else? Are you
either way?
So yeah, I mean, I think you're right. If you're receiving it, apologize your butt off if you screwed up. I think is and don't be weird and awkward about it, but just really if you realize, just think about it as someone you care about. It's hey, I don't understand exactly what your perspective is, but I hear what you're saying. I realize I did something wrong. If you want to talk about it more, we can. But I never wanted you to feel that way. Like, just making sure that they know you don't actually want them to feel that way, I think is huge. There's actually,
I think to add on to that, like, is, so I think there's another layer to that as well. So first, we, like what you were saying, to validate their experience and say, I can't understand it, but I validate your right to feel that way. But I also would challenge the fact that we, as the person who said this thing, I'm assuming this thing was a neutral thing. Like, I told Jenny, I don't know what I would tell you, Jenny, like, something that offended you.
I don't like pink hair.
I don't like your pink hair.
I don't like your pink hair. No, I'm saying more like something that was not even controversial. Just like, I really love your first YouTube video. And maybe that first YouTube video like really triggers you. Okay. So that I'm assuming from it's that kind of context. So when she gets offended by that, I then go back and say, I completely validate, I don't understand. I validate your right to feel that way. But I would actually spur to say that I disagree that I would have to then apologize for being wrong. Because what did I do that was wrong? I mean, I didn't do anything wrong per se, but validating the other's experience.
I have a life hack. I have a life hack, and it's it solves this problem, and it makes your life so much easier and so much better. Assume absolutely everyone that you interact with, has only the best, most positive intentions for everything that they do, and that B, they are under the most stressful circumstance of their life. You assume those two things, and a lot of your biases and your projections are going to come off of them. And it helps in terms of giving grace. That's my perspective. Like, I feel like so many people walk around and like, we don't assume the best thing about other people and what they're doing, what they're saying, when really we're all just a bunch of humans trying to human in the best possible way.
But I think that's so much easier when you're on the receiving end. And Chelsea, I'm totally with you on what you said. I was assuming, and this is based on context, is that like, we were at the cell phone store like last week, and there was a discussion I didn't overhear, but my daughter did. And it was basically a discussion about whether or not my husband and I were married, because my husband and I were speaking in Spanish because that's how we do things. Yeah. And I don't know who these people were. I didn't see them. I have no clue who they were, but their assumption, as is with most people, is that we're not married. Now, in most circumstances, I'm like, okay, it's partially an age thing. It's partially a socioeconomic thing. But I was in scrubby gym clothes and a mask. And so was he. Like, you can't even see what we look like. It was totally based on where we were born and what we look like. And so I'm assuming that there are probably a lot of innocent, like, unintentional hurts out there. And Jenny, I think you're absolutely right. People are doing the best they are with like what they know. And that is how I get through most of my days. But if you have realized that you've been a total douchebag's not a swear word, right? But if you realize that you have, even if you didn't realize that's what you were doing when you said it, and I have done this before to other people too, like, just say, I screwed up. Like, that was stupid. I had no idea.
Canadian. We apologize for everything.
Right? That was my
makes people feel good. Just say, like, you walk into the chair, I'm sorry, chair. I did not mean to hurt you.
And Chelsea, I think you were talking about a totally different context. And Jenny, I think your advice was brilliant too. So we are not trolling anyone's comments on the show, because we all just gave 3 different perspectives of really great advice.
True story.
All right, so we are coming up in the 90 minutes, and my husband, I was distracted, Snark, because my husband made the wrong. Okay, so like, can I just celebrate for a minute? This is so off topic. We are going to eat in our restaurant first time since February 2020 in a restaurant.
Are you gonna have like social anxiety?
So thank you for bringing that up. But he made the wrong. So it's been so long that he made the wrong reservation. So I actually have to like cut it at 5:30. So I want to make sure that we are wrapping. So
have you not?
Training. There's a train coming for you.
Have you not like eaten outdoors since then either?
So outdoors, yes, but inside of a restaurant, no.
Oh, I think you're very brave. Like, good luck with that.
I'm vaccinated, and the infection rate is low, and CDC and all of that.
And you already have it.
and I had a pretty good case of COVID already.
So your kids have probably had it too. So I think that's my only thing is like,
yeah, and it's like a nice restaurant, so I also have to get changed, and I have to be there at 6:30, and it's 45 minutes away. So anyway,
go enjoy yourself.
I'm super excited for next week. So this topic kind of came up a little bit this week, but next week, first of all, Kevin is back from vacation because, of course, we're not going to let him go away for that long. So Kevin will be back with us next week, and we have a phenomenal guest Snark next week, Mr. Oh my gosh, it's not coming up. WTF Internet.
It's up.
Travis is going. Okay. Yay. So Travis will be snarking with us about the fact that we're gonna get canceled. We are canceled. I don't know. I am excited for that one. So make sure that you are joining us live next week.
What could go wrong?
More value. Bring another notebook, and then
another notebook for sure.
Intake that value and substance, however you choose. Okay, so to wrap it up, I want to first of all, bevvie, thank you for jumping up from the comments and joining us to live guest Snark as official guest Snark today.
Live and in person.
Winning by coming in costume.
Yeah, that too.
I have to go explain to my husband why I'm in costume because he walked in like right before we went live and he's like, "You're so weird."
Just starting the party of the weekend early, totally cool.
That's true.
Just like lounging on a Saturday night. Or Friday night, whatever day it is.
This is what I do.
So thank you, bevvie.
No.
I mean, they say just for the job that you want, and you have.
That's true. I absolutely agree with that.
Thank you to John, who is not with us any longer because he had to go and do real work instead of snarking, but he was a phenomenal
He's my new best friend, apparently.
Oh my God. Like, are you connected with him already? I know that he was like new to you, but
I think I am, but I've never like interacted with him really much. So
yeah. So like shout out to, so if anyone is here and hanging and has not followed bevvie yet, go and follow bevvie, go and follow John if you aren't already, or connect, or do whatever thing that you want to do. Thank you, friends in the chat, for lighting it up to the point that I could not keep up. I could not show the right comment.
On the right comment.
There was some trolling, there was some value, there was some smoking of the value, and I just, appreciate all of this.
I love that we're smoking Snark Squad now. Like,
I mean, I'd smoke some Snark Squad, but
I'm just saying.
And thank you for bearing with my awful train noises. I'm so sorry.
I mean, thank you for bearing with my awful internet. So
sound effects are fun. And then I randomly disappeared. I showed up late and then randomly disappeared for 10 minutes or so.
I was like,
so all together, we're good.
Nothing went wrong. Everything went right? Like,
totally went great. Awesome.
And yes, I agree with what Adam says. Connect with John because he is awesome, and bevvie, awesomeness personified.
Whoa, dude.
Oh, wow.
Just went all the way
there.
Can
I just I'm going to screenshot that and put it for a testimonial.
Yeah. I mean, I think it should go onto landing pages. And
there we go.
That was my idea. Pretty awful people.
Yeah, to have a little bit of it anyways. Okay. Bevvie, guest snarking, expectation versus reality. Yeah.
Oh, way more substance. I was so relieved because I'm like, crap, I'm going to taint this thing with substance. Because I didn't know we were allowed to bring this much, especially since I brought a topic that's legit, needs to be dealt with. So
it's, I mean, you can't
never know what you're getting into.
All right,
people,
my friends,
sign up right now.
Yeah, and thanks for putting up with the letter. I think that's a great place to end things.
It totally is.
Have a wonderful weekend, our snarky friends. We will see you along with our snarky friend Travis next week.